So everyone, good morning. My name is Yashvir Singh, and today I will be sharing some knowledge regarding social media marketing with you. I hope everyone is able to see my screen with the social media marketing slide on it. Is it visible? Because I'm using it for the first time, so just help me out. All right, perfect. Uh, okay, thank you. So let me start my presentation. Okay. So today we will be covering these 11 points. These 11 points would be the key points of discussion, like why you should consider social media marketing, and why content is the key to unlocking any of the doors, whether it be opportunities or influence, or the to sell and get more money, and what you can sell on the social media platform, and in what ways you can sell your content, and how to get ideas for the contents, and why you should consider Instagram as one of the mediums for promoting your business or yourself for personal brand management, and what are the key features that Instagram provides in the form of accounts and feeds. What are the Instagram tags that you can use to increase your outreach to your followers, and what you would consider a perfect profile picture and a killer bio, which will eventually help you in getting more followers, and how to use hashtags, and lastly and most importantly, how you can increase your followers. And followed by that, we will have a short question answer session in which you can raise your questions, and if it is anything, you can also directly ask me, right? So I hope that much is clear to everyone. uh,
Yes, please go ahead.
okay. So first of all, can you tell me, like, why you would want to use social media as a platform for marketing? Uh, this will be a participative session, so if you have any queries in between the session, also you can raise them, and if you participate, you will have more chances of understanding what I'm trying to convey today. So please feel free to participate. I have unmuted all of you, so you can participate as much as you want.
Yes, actually, the outreach to variety of people via this platform is, you know, very much. You
Okay.
can reach out to so many people. That's why it's very important to, know how social media marketing works and how we can incorporate it in our projects and all, so that we
Okay,
can gain more audience.
okay, great. So one is outreach to get more audience. So ultimately, that will help you earn some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Sagar ji? All right. Okay, let it be. So first of all, I would like to tell you that you should consider social media marketing, because it is one of the platforms where you don't have to, actually do much in terms of physical presence. It is something which can be, done at your own convenience. You can take 10 to 15 minutes of your time in a day, and if you utilize this platform smartly, you will be able to generate uh, revenue, influence, and whatever business targets that you are hoping to achieve through physical presence, they can be achieved through social media marketing as well. And in that, you don't have to invest much of money. You just have to do it very, very smartly, and if you do that, you will be able to reap the benefits that social media marketing provides to you. All right. And to understand how you can utilize that benefit, let's move on. Okay. So first of all, the content is very, very important when we talk about social media and the marketing aspect. Even any kind of marketing, what is the content that you want to market, it is very very important. So to understand that, you need to identify or define your unique selling point, your USP. If you can understand and you can identify what is your USP that you want to convey through your content, you will be able to maximize the potential of that content, right? So what is basically a content? Content is anything that you want to convey. It might be information, it might be some experience of yours, some testimonials in the form of videos, posts, GIFs, memes. Okay, so any form of information that you want to share across the platform to your consumers, that would be content, right? So first of all, identifying your content is identify the USP of your content is very important. And how you can identify your USP? It will be by asking a very critical question, that what value you can provide to your consumers. I will repeat again. What value you can provide to your consumers? If you can answer that question, it means that you have identified or you are nearby to your USP. Correct. So the better the value you provide, the more unique your USP will be. Right. So there are some steps in which you can maximize the potential of your content. The first of all would be to create a content calendar, because social media is something in which there are many people, many consumers, and many producers, right? So you need to understand that to be more effective, you need to be consistent, and to be consistent, you need to have a plan, action plan, and the action plan can be made in the form of a content calendar. So suppose on Monday to Friday, like 7 days a week, you plan to post only on 5 days, Monday to Friday, right? So you can schedule your content like, on Monday I will be posting information regarding motivation for the week. On Tuesday, it might be something regarding your work experience. Uh, on Wednesday, it might be something about testimonials, right? So, and so on and so forth. So, on any of the days, you can plan your content in any way you like, maybe in the form of pictures or videos. All right. So, a content calendar is a must, because you will be confused about what to do on the day. So if you have a plan already in place, you would be more likely to stick to that, right? And posting consistently, it is a must, right? Now, there is another point that comes into picture, is that to be more effective with the content, you can always use regional languages, right, to target your local audience. And you should prefer emoticons. Like just using plain text is boring and out of date. So be more creative and use emoticons. And the content, whatever you are using, it must be a call to action content. Like suppose if I see a content and I don't feel any value in it, I would just skip it, right? And if I feel some value in it, I will like it, or maybe engage with the content. So engagement with the content is very important, so that's why a call to action is a must for content, right? So now, when you have a little bit idea about what is content, I know in a short amount of time it might not be possible to understand all aspects of it, but we will cover it very briefly. And if you have any queries later on, you can ask me. Right. So whatever content, what can you sell on Instagram or on any social media platform? So most popular form is the transformation uh, post, in which there is a before and after transformation stories. All right. So they sell very much, and people like it and they share it as well. Other things that you can sell is inspirational stories or posts. It can also be entertainment. It can be information regarding the latest trends, latest technology updates, or your day-to-day activities. Or if you are a professional, maybe your industry insights. Like suppose if there is some doctor and he knows about diets and physical fitness, so maybe he can share his insights in short videos or some posts, right? And maybe if you are a service provider, then you can, definitely share your client success stories as well. So these kind of things are very popular, and they are consumed by the masses, so you can look for it. Okay, now, how to sell your content? This is a very critical question that can be asked by the audience and by you. So, like, how would you sell your content? Any ideas other than these which you are already seeing? Even if you repeat it, I would be very happy if you can convey some examples if you have done it already.
I think if we market something which sounds interesting to the end consumers, that will sell uh, properly.
Okay. Anything else? Like, how would you make it interesting for the end consumer?
Uh,
You can use the
like you
slide.
said,
You can use the slide. You can take out some point, and if you can, convey your message, it's perfect.
like it is written over here that if we can connect emotionally to the audience,
Okay.
that adds great value, because at the end of the day we are all human beings, so the basic things are same, the basic experiences we all have are a little bit same. So if we can connect emotionally to the audience, it can sell, the
Yeah,
content
definitely,
can sell.
definitely. Now my question would be, how would you connect emotionally? Like, what would you do that will make the audience connect to you emotionally?
I think if we are authentic and honest while we are trying to, market our content, and if we are not copying it from anywhere, that can grab the attention of the end
Okay,
consumers.
being honest and being yourself, that is a perfectly valid point. Maybe it might not be that you have to copy something. The content might be similar, but I will tell you, I've already written it here. The perfect way to sell is to tell a story, right? The perfect way to sell your product is to tell a story, because stories are the most compelling sellers. If you can tell a story in a way to your target audience that gives them a lot of value, that solves their problems, you will be able to connect emotionally and hence provide a great experience to the consumer. But my point?
Yadvir, also, if I'm not wrong, creating an image in the customer's mind, so that creating an image where customer feels the need of the product or the service. I think
Right.
that will also be very important, right?
Yeah, that is very important. So that's why I was telling you that you have to tell your story, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
By telling a story, it is the easiest form of entertainment. Is the easiest way in which you can connect to anybody, because you cannot always sell to people the product or the services, but you can always sell a
Mm-hmm.
story, right?
Correct.
Right. So just telling a story is an art, and if you can cultivate it properly, you will be able to connect emotionally. You will be, able to gather their problems. Like, you will be able to understand their problems. They will understand you. Once you have an emotional connection, it is much more easier for you to understand, like, what kind of values they, consider more valuable to them, or of more value, right? What things they value more, and what are their problems. You will be able to establish a connection. One After establishing a connection, everything becomes easy, right? You will be able to engage them, and once you engage them, you will be able to sell your products or your content, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope I have answered the question. And it is very important that you target your audience, because telling a story and not understanding who is your target audience, that would be like आप अंधेरे में तीर चला रहे हो, right?
Correct.
You have to be very clear that who is your target audience. Once you understand your target audience, you tell a story in a way which is relevant to your audience, and it should have a lot of value, which is solving some kind of problems which you might have faced, or which they might probably face, right? And that will help you establish a connection emotionally, And if you engage properly with that emotional connection, they will have a great experience, and once they have a great experience, they are sold, right? Okay, so moving on, like where to get your content ideas. Like here are some of the examples where you can get the ideas for your content. One of them is answerthepublic.com. Like if you have a mobile phone with you, just type this answerthepublic.com in your browser and search. You will find that on any word that you keyword that you search for, you will find lot of articles, lot of questions and know-hows, and based on that you can make content. So I will just show you in one example. I will open it here. Is my screen visible? Answer the public.
Yes,
Yes.
it is
Okay.
visible.
Okay, so this is a very awesome website. What you can do is you can pick a one keyword which you want to search for, which you want to create a content for. Suppose like I want to create content for startup. Startup. Okay, so I will be searching it. Now here it will show me a visualization chart like this. Are you seeing this?
Yes. Yes.
See, can startup sponsor H1B hub, can startup cost be capitalized. So like there are around 208 uh, alphabetical topics in which, and based on these questions and that keyword, you can create your content, like where startup ideas come from. All right, what startup business you can create, what startup program can I disable, or what startup apps do I need. So based on these topics, like here, why startups fail, why startup India, why startups fail in India. So any of the questions which is relevant to you, you can pick it up, right, and start creating content on it. And I'm sure if you pick one keyword, you will be able to identify 5 to 10 ideas by going through all these, and you will be probably much nearer to your content by the time you go through this thing. All right. And the awesome thing about this is that in a day you can do 3 free keyword searches. All right. What my one? 3 free keyword searches in a day. So if you want to perform more, you will have to purchase it, but I think 3 is enough for a day. So you can use the keywords, and you can go ahead and utilize it. Okay, right. Then there is Quora. On Quora, there are many questions that are asked, and if you search in the topic using why, how, what, when, such kind of WH question words, you will be able to identify questions that people are interested in knowing the answers to. So you can also create contents related to that. Other is Google Trends. Then there are comments. If you have posted some content earlier, you can go through the comments and you will find that people will be interested in something, so they might be posting or commenting about it. So go through those comments. Also go through a competitor's post, because they are a great source of information, and you can pick ideas from those posts, like what is working for them, and what their audience is demanding. you can create content about that, and that will help you, capture more audience. Then there are YouTube videos, and you can search for YouTube videos, and in their comment sections, you will find that people are always requesting or posting some ideas about what they are needing, or what they would like to see more, right? So they can again be an idea for your content. And obviously, last but not the least, is newspaper and television. Anything that is happening around you or as a news, that might be a good idea for content. So you can go ahead with that. Right. Now, uh, once we have gone through the content and the importance of it, I specifically chose Instagram. So, if, can you share your insights? Like, I'm sure that 95% of the people are using Instagram, and many of them are using it actively. So, if you can share your insights, like why someone should consider Instagram for a preferred medium of social media marketing platform. Anyway.
I think the answer lies in your question itself when you said that 95% of people are on Instagram nowadays.
No, that is just a random shoot of numbers. I'm just saying for the sake of saying it. That
That
is
is
not
what
the.
I'm suggesting, that many people are, hooked to their Instagram accounts, and they spend lots of hours scrolling through the feed. So if you can somehow make place for your content in their feed, that might, draw their attention, and maybe they can, enroll in, or maybe whatever you are selling, they can
Okay, cool.
click on your
Okay,
content.
cool. Like they spend a lot of time on the platform, scrolling, and they keep on scrolling, and new and more new content keeps on uh, adding up. All right, so that may be one of the points. But why would I choose Instagram? Because if there is so much content, there is no chance for my content to be in the place. And even if you create a content, it will be scrolled down within 1 second. So why should I choose Instagram? Hello.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that I have never thought. Maybe you can answer that.
Okay.
Maybe because the content here can be shared by our friends also, and the reach can be more.
Awesome point.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Awesome point. That is the key factor, because the content can be shared and the reach is more. That is the only criteria for which I am choosing Instagram as a preferred medium of social media marketing, because it is the only platform where you need to consider about what you want to give, right? What you want to share with your consumers, and after that you don't have to take any headache regarding the content. You leave the rest to the platform, to the consumers, and you do a little bit of work, and you get 10 to 100 times more return on your investment. So that is the only reason that I'm choosing Instagram. Okay.
But same thing can be done on Facebook as well, right?
Okay, I will show you I will tell you more about the Instagram. Facebook is a good thing, but it is not that prominent. I will tell you the reasons when we go through more slides. You will understand that what is the reason why you should consider Instagram. So one thing was reach, and I think we will move forward, and you will understand more about why I am telling you that. Okay. All right. So first of all, let us understand that Instagram is providing us with a very cool feature. That is, there are three types of accounts that you can create in Instagram with the same login ID, email ID, and password. You can create three accounts. So one is basic account, that is your personal account, right? You can set your privacy settings. It is the most basic form of account. Like I will show you an example. Okay, so this is an example, like a, basic account in which my name is there, the bio is there, and these are the uh, you know uh, post, IGTV. These are the three feeds. This is post, in which whatever you post, it will be shown here. Then there is IGTV, in which you create videos for 15 seconds to 10 minutes. And this is the tags feed, where if anyone has tagged you in their photos or in their post, they will be shown here. Okay. And this is the bio section. This is the very personal, this is the personal account, so nothing much is shown here. Now the interesting thing about this is that if you create a business account, it provides you a lot of value. Like, you can run ads, you can schedule your post, right? You can increase the number of followers. Like, if anyone is going to follow you, they need not require your permission. They will automatically start following you for your feeds. And in personal account, there is one benefit, which is that the reach, or the customer, the follower gathering is more organic, right? So that is one of the benefits of the personal thing. And the creator account is something which is created by influencers. Like, if you're not running your own business, or if you have some individual who just wants to create content of their field, and they want to provide some benefits regarding that, some valuable content regarding that, like for musician, or some independent doctor, or a consultant, right? So they can create a creator account, which will allow them to connect with the brands. They can post about the brands, and the consumer can directly go, click on the links, and directly make purchases from the account. So this is one of the beautiful features about Instagram. You can use your business account to maximize your reach. You can use a creator account to maximize your influence, and your personal account to gain more organic traffic on your account. Now there are three type of feeds, like I told you: main feed, IGTV feed, and tags, right? So these things are very basic and they are covered. So let's move on. Like, many people are aware that tags are most often, hashtags are most often used in Twitter, be it YouTube videos or Instagram posts. So can anyone tell me, like, why you should, or when to use tags and when not to use tags?
If we want to share those content with the hashtag users, we can definitely include them, I mean, in our post. And if
Okay.
we want to limit our audience, then I think there is no need of hashtags in it. I may
Okay.
be wrong, I don't know.
Okay, that may be one of the answers. Okay, anyone else would like to try?
I think when you know people personally, and if you know that their areas of interest, collide with whatever you are putting out there, you can tag them
Okay.
so that they can also spread the word of mouth for your content.
Okay. I think the reason we are choosing Instagram is not to spread it by word of mouth, right? So we want to make our way work easier. So that's why we are using tags. Okay, I will tell you. Right. So when to use tags? First of all, use tag only when it is relevant to the person whom you are tagging. Like, suppose if you have attended a workshop of some person, then only tag that person. If that person is in the photograph or the post, then only tag that person. If they are involved in a same activity, then only tag that person with your post, right? And never ever tag anyone who is not in the post, who is not relevant, right? uh, who is not relevant to the post. And if you do that, it is called spamming, because every time you tag a person in the post, they will be receiving a notification. Any updates, anyone, if anyone comments on it, if anyone likes on it, they will be constantly getting notifications on their account, that your post has been liked, your post has been commented on, and so on and so forth, and it becomes a harassment. So never ever tag anyone who is not a part of the post, who is not involved in any way to the post. If it is your friend, you know you have the all the rights to harass them. Not a problem if he's your friend. But if it is not your friend professionally, you should ideally take care of this thing, right? And if if you still want to, you tag them, and if you want to, make sure that they are aware about the post, then what you can do is, rather than tagging them in the post, comment them and mention them in the comment section, right, with their username, and they will be able to reach to that post. But at the same time, they will not be harassed by the notification, right? Is my point clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Nobody
uh,
likes unnecessary notifications.
yeah, definitely. Okay. Here is some perfect profile picture and a killer bio. Now let me tell you what it is. Perfect profile is picture is something that can be summarized in two lines only. Clear background, like nothing should be in the background, as you can see in the picture. Okay. And a close-up profile pic, close-up of the profile pic, right? I didn't have any good picture, but anyways, I chose this in the night time to prepare for it. Okay, so this is how you can make a perfect profile pic, and this is the way you should make your profile pic on all your social media platforms, be it either Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Okay, any of the social media platforms that you are using, make sure that your profile picture is like this, in a in a circular shape. Okay, with a clear background, nothing in the background, and a close up to your face, right? Is my point clear?
Yes, yes. I think I can definitely change my profile pictures now
Okay.
Yes,
because
yes.
they're not a close up.
Sure.
Okay. So okay, one more thing I would share with you, like how to make this kind of profile picture. The reason, can you identify that what program I am using to make this presentation? Have you noticed it so far?
Yes, yes. I noticed it and I thought that I'll ask you afterwards this session.
Okay, great. Because this is something that I will be sharing with you, how to utilize this tool, and it is an awesome tool that all of us can use. And Dr. Ashishi, this is something that would be very, very useful for you as well. If you have the time and if you have the patience to, be on the social media, then I'm sure that the tips and tools that I will be sharing with you will make your work a lot easier and a lot of fun as well. Right? Okay. Then there is a killer bio. What is a killer bio? Can you tell me? What would be a killer bio?
Something that stands out from the rest, which is short and something which sticks to somebody's mind post they've read it.
Okay, these are all good and fine things, but how would I, make it practical? Because this is a visualization. This is the ideal, that this is how it should be. But what do I need to do so that it becomes like this? What do I need to do?
Short and crisp content.
Okay, this is a bio. This is not content.
I
We have
mean,
gone through the content.
something which can define the page properly. I mean,
Uh,
unnecessary
okay,
words should
see,
not be added.
for reference, I didn't refer to this section. Okay, this section. Yash Bhai is saying 16 ports. Yash Bhai is saying business concern, IS consulting survey. Refer to this area and tell me what could be a killer bio.
I think it specifies the areas where you specialize
Okay,
and
great.
the areas where you can help somebody out if someone is seeking some knowledge about
Areas
that
where
area.
what value you provide. Basically, you are telling your audience,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, so here I will do a little experiment. The key point here is to identify the keywords, right? Suppose finance, finance, right? If I search for finance keyword, can you tell me that what is something that is common among all these accounts? What is common?
Mm,
Okay, at least try. Someone try.
the name is not very fancy, or like when you search for this word finance, these appeared over here. Like it is not some jumbled up word or something like that. The name of the account.
Okay, that is not what I was looking for. But anyways, I will tell you. See, in all the accounts, this is the username, right? Finance millennial, finance father, financial literate, right? Yahoo Finance. But what you find that when I'm searching for a particular keyword in their bio,
Mhm.
I am finding the word finance. I'm
Yes, yes.
finding the word finance, 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 right? So in this way,
Mhm.
if I look for a business or a consultant, ISO, consulting, or certification, these are the keywords, right? So if someone is searching in this, like in this place, then since I've used those keywords in my profile, in my bio, they will be shown here. And this is how, when someone is looking for you or looking for interests that are in your bio, you will be shown to them, and people are more likely to follow. So that is why you should have a killer bio. It should be very precise and very crisp, right? And the way you can make it more interesting is by first of all checking out similar accounts that are providing the similar services, like, or for the finance keyword, yeah, if I want to identify like what else should I use in my bio, then I need to go through all those accounts and check their bio, like what are they showing there, right? So I would have more idea than not using much of the text, using emojis, and these are the something that you need to consider. And also you need to consider that what things are there that you can provide free of cost to people. Like if you are a business, then most likely you will be having more of promotions in your post, right? So what you can do is sometimes you provide some freebies, something that is free of cost to you, and it brings value to your customers. So, and give them reason to follow, like not only your content, but the value of content, right? So make sure that you are giving them reasons to follow, right? Now on the use of hashtags, right? So for this activity I would like all of you to open your Instagram accounts, okay? And when you are done, just let me know. Done, okay. Vidis is done. Sagar ji. Okay, Sagarji, then I would suggest you that you install Instagram, and maybe after this session is over, you might consider opening an account and utilizing it for maybe gaining followers or maybe generating some value, and you'll be able to you know understand it much better. Okay, anyways, not a worry. So here is something that I want you to understand about Instagram and the hashtags in it. First of all, there are three types of tags that are used in Instagram. One is small tags, second is medium tags, and the third is big tags. Now, what are small, medium, and big tags? These are the number of followers. All right. So if any keyword with a hashtag is having less than 200k followers, then it would be considered as a small tag. Okay. You type the hashtag finance and search for it. And if you see the number of followers, you find that it is approximately 7 to 8 million, right? So it will be coming under a big tag. If the number of followers of a particular hashtag are more than 1 million to 10 billion, in between this range, then it is a big tag. And if the number of followers of a particular hashtag are in between 300k to 1 million, then it is a medium tag. Right. So my question is, like, in which category a hashtag would lie if it is having 250k followers? You can type your answers in the chat, or you can speak it loud. My question is, if the number of followers is 250k, then in which category the tag would lie? Small, medium, or big? Okay. Anyone else? Big. Okay. Anyone else would like to try? 250k followers, in which category would it lie? Ashish ji, Shrishti ji? Medium. Okay, nice. डॉक्टर जी, आप ट्राई करेंगे इसमें? स्मॉल, मीडियम और बिग? ओके, लेट इट बी. डॉक्टर जी, आप अपना आंसर जरूर देना. आई विल बी वेटिंग फॉर द आंसर. बट इन द मीनवाइल, लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड कि the small tags are all those tags which are having less than 200k followers. So obviously it will not be small. So Vidiji, your answer is wrong. Sagar ji, a big tag has 1 million to 100 million followers. Since it is only 250k followers, it will not be big. So Sagar ji, your answer is also wrong. Srishti, your answer is correct, because if it is greater than 200k or up nearby this, it is okay. It will be considered a small tag. But since it has already reached 250k, it will be considered as a medium tag, right? So Srishti ji, your answer is correct. It will be a medium tag. Now, how to understand, like how to utilize those tags in your post? So suppose if you are making a post and you are having only 1k, less than 1k followers, right? Now this is in the purple color. These are the number of followers on your account. Like if you have 1k follower, less than 1k followers, then I would suggest that a maximum of 10 tags should be utilized. No more than 10 tags should be used at a time in a particular post. Alright, and what can those tags be? They should be, first of all, your account name, your location, your business name, right? the particular topic that you are keywords that is pertinent to your post, and then you should utilize and search for other tags, uh, and in that one should be high or big tag. At maximum 3 should be medium tags, and 6 should be small tags. The reason why you are doing this is that when you are having a less number of followers, you do not want to promote your account too much, because since you're having less number of followers, chances are you are having less content. And since you're having less content, you do not want to attract followers from the bigger hashtags, because if you use those hashtags, people will come to your profile, they will visit it and will find that it is a small account, it doesn't have that good of content, and they will skip your account. So unnecessarily, uh, your account would be discarded. Plus one more thing that will happen is that since you are using a bigger high hashtag, you will not be able to reach your ideal followers, because it would be refreshed and you would be zoomed down in a fraction of seconds, because there are very few number of followers. The way Instagram works is that, suppose if you are having 100 followers, only 5% or 10% of the content followers at a time would be consuming it. At any number of time, if you're having 100 followers, at max 5 to 10 followers would see your content, and among those 5 to 10, only one or two people will like your content. All right, so your reach becomes very very low. So you need to utilize these hashtags in a particular fashion so that it gives you the maximum results. Now suppose if you're having followers between 1k to 10k, you utilize two big hashtags, three medium hashtags, and five small hashtags. Again, if you have 10k to 50k followers, then you utilize five big hashtags, three medium and two small hashtags. And if you have greater than 50k, you use one or three very very big hashtags, like more than 10 million followers. If they are having those tags, you utilize them. Then five uh, big tags, three medium and one small tag. So this is how you use hashtags. All right. So any questions relating to that, you can ask me right now, so that this portion is clear.
I think I never paid attention to this kind of information. So it's good
Hello.
that now we have insight.
Yeah. Can you repeat what you were asking?
I'm not asking anything. I'm just saying that I never paid attention to such minute details from Instagram, because I am also an end consumer right now.
Okay.
So it's very good that if I know the nitty gritties, I can become a creator myself.
Yeah, definitely. It is a huge advantage. Basically, if you just understand this little bit of concept, na, you will be able to increase your followers by a very big amount. So in the next slide, I will be sharing some points about what you can do to increase your followers. Now this is about understanding and how to make your content, how to format those posts. So we are just now preparing everything that would be needed, right? So if you understand these concepts, it would be very easy for you to understand that why some people get a lot of followers and others don't get it. Right. So understanding this concept is very, very important. Because what mistake most people commit is that if they are having less followers, they tend to use big hashtags. This is not going to attract your, uh, you know, followers to you. This is going to, shun away the followers, because you are using such a big hashtag and you don't having any followers. It is obvious that you are not either not creating a good content, either you are copying someone else's content, and maybe just for whatever reason you are not generating enough interest and trust with your followers so that they can stick to you, right? So understanding these points will help you in the long way. So any more questions regarding this thing? Hashtags. I hope this point is clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so these are some of the points that will help you increase the followers. First is timely posting. Like in the very first slide of the content, I told you that you need to make a content calendar. And by content calendar, it should be very, it is a very effective way to control your timing of postings. Like on which day, at what time you want to post, at what time you want to repost, right? So all those things can be arranged and planned. So timely posting is very very important. So suppose the reason I am focusing so much on this is that if you are posting your content on all 7 days of the week, and your followers, someone is only active on Instagram on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, right? Another follower is active only on Saturday and Sunday. Another follower is active on only Monday, Wednesday and Friday, right? So any n number of permutation combination is possible, and for that, to capture maximum audience, you need to be very consistent in your posting. Like the consumer should know that if I'm opening it on Monday, I'm likely to see this kind of post from this follower, this content creator or influencer, right? If I am opening this post on this day, this is the content that I am likely to consume. So either they will shift their priorities and they will start, following your timetable, right? So to get a maximum output, you need to have some plan and you need to post timely, right? Second thing is consistency, like color and font. Basically, the way we present or make our content, it is likely to impact the kind of consumer that you will attract, right? So you can always increase the quality of the content, but you need to keep in mind that color and font that you are using should they leave a lasting impact. And the way you present your content, it is also needs to be very very consistent. There should not be drastic changes. If there are any drastic changes, you should be ready for drastic change in your number of followers as well. There might be plus and there might be minus as well. Okay, then another point is engagement. Like, how do you engage with the people? So it is very critical that you the very first 10,000 followers that you are generating on your account, they need to be very organic. By organic, I mean that you should be engaged with your audience. Like if your follower is commenting something, then you need to comment back, or you need to reply to that comment by using their first name. And either you thank them, or you ask for your suggestions, or you ask them to share your content if they like it, right? So engagement is very very important. The more you engage, the more organic influence and follower gathering you will gather. And to do that, it is very important to be real and to be you. You cannot pretend. Like if you are if you don't like wasting time on such things, you need to be very real and upfront. You cannot have other expectations. Like if you are, suppose you are generating content for business, uh, and you say that in your content you say that you would love to help people, and you like sharing your experiences, and then all of a sudden you have a certain kind of audience which is expecting you to share your content and to help them, but you are not doing so. So that will create trouble for you, and this will cause the audience to disengage. So it is very important that you are real and you are yourself. Right. The next point is that relevant hashtags. As I discussed earlier, the hashtag should be very very relevant to your content and in the way that I told you. Right. So it should not be that you are having very few content of your own, very less followers as well, and you are using big hashtags just to generate, gather more followers. That will not work for you, and that is not the way you generate traffic on your account. It should be very very organic for the first 10K followers, and they will be the most solid foundation for you to escalate to millions or billions of followers. And understand that it is always about them. If you are giving them a good experience, if you are giving them value content, then they will be very happy to share your content and to recommend and to actively follow you as well. So, and also it is very important that you are always active when your audience is active, right? Earlier I told you about the timings schedule, right? And the posting, in the timely posting, it is very important that when your audience is active, you are also active. Like suppose, if you are regularly posting content at 10 a.m. and your audience is active at mostly 9 a.m., then it is not impactful at all. You need to be active when your audience is active. Suppose your audience is active around 9 a.m., then you need to schedule your post timing at 9 a.m. as well, so that they get the post which you have posted at that time, right? So it is very, very important. And most people miss out on this. They create a content, they create good content, they post it without considering the timing of their audience, and they expect there to be very good number of followers, but they feel that but they find that there is not that much followers, and the expected likes and comments are not there. The reason is very simple, because you are not timing your active timing with your audience active time. So time it well, and you are sure to generate more predictable results. Again, you have to create content in a way that can be saved and shared. If you are not creating content that can be saved and shared, chances are that the audience and followers will not be able to do so for you. And that is one of the advantages that you are totally discarding of Instagram. Instagram is such a platform that uh, most of the time you are not the one who is pulling the audience. Your audience is pulling more audience towards you because they like your content and they share your content. That is the reason why many Instagram accounts grow very large in a short amount of time, because their audience is doing their work for them. So be considerate and make content that can be saved and shared, and that will be only possible when it is providing some value to the consumer, right? Now, one critical point that I would like to highlight is that be your competitor's biggest fan. The reason why I'm telling you is that most likely your competitor or whatever you want to post, already there might be someone else who is doing it, right? And you need to understand that what they are doing, what is working for them. If you make a similar content, chances are it will work for you as well. So you are ultimately reducing a lot of redundant efforts from your side and getting positive result. So to do that, you need to constantly keep check of your competitors and understand that what is working for them, the same can work for you. So make content that is somewhat similar to them, but present it in a your own unique fashion, right? And now this is the most this is the secret cookie that I'm giving it to you. Always collaborate and do a win-win-win situation. The three times win is that first win is yours, the second win is of your collaborator, and the third win is for both of your audiences, right? So if I am at 1k followers, and if I collaborate with a 2k followers, uh, which collaborate with someone who is having 2k followers and 2000 followers, then their content, the content that I'm creating, the way and for the purpose that I'm collaborating, it will be beneficial to both our followers as well. So this is the way that you collaborate. It is never that you and the other person collaborate and you don't consider your audience. You should always collaborate with someone, uh, uh, by collaborating with whom both your audiences would benefit. And if you can always take care of the third party, that is your audience, your followers, then I'm sure that your collaboration would be successful and you will easily be able to gather more followers, right? So this was a very simple way in which you can gather more followers and increase it by putting a very least amount of effort and generating high value results. So now if you have any questions, just shoot it out and I'm happy to answer most of them. Yeah. Any questions for me?
I think we'll have questions to you while we practice these instructions with you
Okay.
shared with us.
Okay. Anything that you didn't understand or would like to know more about, you can just let me know. And I will, I will be happy to share it with you.
As I said that I think if I'll start implementing this, then probably I might have some more questions.
Okay. Okay. Great.
I think it was very informative.
Okay. Great. I hope it was helpful to all of you, and I think then I will wind it up.
It was very helpful, and I think it has forced me to think from the creator's perspective and not from the end user's
Okay.
perspective.
Great. Great. Okay. Then I thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and I hope you learned something. And if there is anything else that you would like to know more from me, you can post in the WhatsApp group, and I will make some new videos regarding the same.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. This was a very um, informative session, and thanks for all your efforts which you put to put this information together. I'm sure I'll have some more questions to you.
Okay. Okay. Definitely. We'll wait for that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.